We haven't spoken about Planet X, aka Nibiru, for a while, so I found this article, well, a couple of them actually. Let's go through it. This is dated on the 4th. Oh, it's going to tell us some things that we know, things that we didn't already know maybe. This is talking about the belief of it being the 12th planet in the orbit, the elliptical orbit every 3,600 years coming by the Earth, and a lot of people put no faith in Sitchin and his work, and it's mentioning his work and how it's derived from the ancient astronaut theorist Sitchin, interpretation of Babylonian Sumerian iconography and the symbology and mythology. And the most commonly referenced source is his book The 12th Planet, which was released in 1976. And then it goes on to describe Nibiru, according to Zechariah, collided with Tiamat, which is believed to have been another planet located between Mars and Jupiter at one time, and the collision supposedly formed the Earth, the asteroid belt, and some of the comets. And it is describing based on his interpretation of the Sumerian mythology. He wrote that Nibiru was the home of a technologically advanced human-like ET race called the Anunnaki. And he claimed these same beings were called the Nephilim. So those would be fallen angels. Now this lady here, Nancy Leader, I don't really like her, but it's also mentioned in some things that she has said. Back in 1995, her belief was put forth, and she called it Planet X. And the cataclysm of what it would cause is a direct hit or a near miss. The gravitational pull would create big destructions on the Earth, including a polar shift. And it describes how the 2012 prophecy of the Mayans, which is past, and Earth was not destroyed. A lot of people have went back to sleep figuring nothing's going to happen. Nothing did happen, because that date was, a lot of people confuse that date with destruction, and that's not what the date was. The date was signifying a change of the age and change of things to come into what they'll be. Some theorize it's a red planet with a gold hue, or a star-like moon, or that it has a star-like moon and as its heat source. And then we go into I haven't seen that movie, a supposed Star Trek reference in the new movie Into Darkness. It claimed it made a cameo appearance, include the main characters running through a red pigmented forest. And then you go with your, what we know, possible cataclysm, a direct hit, a near miss, and then you have big time gravity interferences, which we could reverse the magnetic poles and then shift the axis and all kinds of stuff. And then this one over here had something about the supposed orbit. This would be according to Sitchin's study again. And I'm sure I'll hear some Sitchin debunking. Nibiru, aka Planet X, on planet of the Anunnaki, manipulated man's DNA eons ago. If you do believe in Genesis or any parts or a whole of the Bible, you will understand that DNA manipulation was exactly what it was whenever you had fallen angels mating with human women. You have a pure DNA in the beginning when God created people, And then you had a different type of a DNA that melded in with the original pure DNA, so it was then a byproduct of the two, which flowed all the way to current time. And this also has a video that you can click and watch. And these coordinates, they're trying to predict the exact arrival time. And it's talking about how it did not appear in December of 2012, and there's speculation about the precise coordinates of Planet X. New software related to primary planetary orbits and gravitational pull. They give animated estimates. And here's another video of the animated estimates. El-u.c.i.f.e.r is past, but the time I still hold to what I think about el-u.c.i.f.e.r is timing and positioning. We can look back if we put it all up, and that thing was there when we were having those large earthquakes. I mean, popping off everywhere, tons of them, big time magnitudes, Japan tsunami. It just seems to be part of the common denominator of what was going on back then. Whatever it was, whether it was a comet or whatever it really was. And now it seems to be passed by, disintegrated or whatnot, not associated with the equation anymore. But you can watch this video. That is a little bit about what it was, about the magnetic field. Well, we're still going to have wormwood. Whether wormwood turns out to be Planet X, Nibiru, whatever. God doesn't lie. I watched a video of some things related to the Bible and the origin of it. And I have no problem with the things that it's said about the emperors of Rome and whatnot, but I certainly do not agree with a lot of what it said. So my faith is unwavered, and I still put 100% faith in Jesus and the words of the Bible, as well as the Dead Sea Scrolls. Although the Dead Sea Scrolls were kept out of the Bible, I still think, especially the Book of Enoch, has much to offer on the insight of what happened. And you can gain understanding of the technologies given to man, the things that were shown to man. In the beginning, it seems to me that man, we were like babies. You know, everything was new and fresh to us. And it would appear to me that we were slowly going to be taught the right ways to do things. And when we were interfered with by the fallen angels, the fallen ones, the timetable for our learning and being taught the right ways and the right things were accelerated. So it's like we were pushed forward. Of course, we fell from grace also by that sin, but things that we might have learned later on in God's time were accelerated unto us in the timetable the fallen angels determined. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it appears to me. There are some recent videos you can search. L.A. Marzulli has completed his expedition to Peru, and he found quite a bit of information regarding the elongated skulls and some things underground that he found and has insight information on now. So I would urge everyone to watch and listen to L.A. Marzulli, and he describes what he found, what his thoughts are. They all jive. I mean, yeah, there were people in tribes and whatnot that did place, headboarding, whatever you want to call it, around the skulls of the infants and the children so that they could elongate the skulls. But the question is just, why would you want to do that? You're obviously, to me it's obvious, you're emulating, you want to be like something else that has those skulls like that. And then the skulls themselves, you can determine if those are human and have been boarded because of the plates in them, just like he tells you. And then you'll see that some of the skulls that they have found that are elongated do not have the same plates as human skulls. And somebody out there is probably going to crack off and say, oh, they're like early monkey skulls or orangutan or, gorillas and apes or something like that. Nope. You can determine that too. Sorry. Strike out on that one. It did happen. They did come here and they did manipulate our DNA. Like I said before, everything changed from that point on. Everything. The world changed. We changed. And that's why we need God more than ever. I mean, we always needed Him. But when we've been interfered like we have been, and the system set up through evil from the get-go of our fall, it just followed us all the way through time to modern times. Evil is all over the world. It's this way all over the world. The corporations and those that run them, the individual rich billionaires and whatnot that have evil hearts, they are the ones that run the system. They're the ones that keep the starving people starving, and the sick people dying, and the poor people poor. And they take their orders from a higher source. They take their orders directly from the devil. And such as their reward is control and power and riches. It just is. That's why it's a hard thing to change this system, because they are, those that work within it, very powerful. As far as your little uprising goes in Egypt, I said it before, I'll say it again. They're just changing suits. Just like before, they had, say, a blue suit on, and they put a brown suit on and got a new guy in there. And he sucked worse than Mubarak. Now, if this works and this guy's gone, they're just going to change into a red suit. And they're going to rah about, we got a new guy, things, there's going to be a happier days now. It's not going to get any better. It's not mandated to get any better for Egypt. This guy might appear better on the surface, but he's going to be a dirtball scumbag just like the one he's replacing. It's a shell game to fool everyone, the people. So pray for the Egyptians too. Pray for people all over the world. I'll let you all go. I'll speak to you again soon sometime. Happy days and God's blessing be upon all of you.